What's going on, guys? Got a video here for you today. I'm going to be showing you my Master Replicas collection. I haven't got to kind of break this stuff out in a while. My lightsabers are usually in a box behind me. That Joker painting you usually see behind me is usually just sitting on top of my box of Master Replicas stuff. But I do have my Master Replicas blaster in a case. That one's usually out under my record player. But my lightsabers I keep in their boxes because when I went to college, I put all my Master Replica stuff at the top of this closet that was barely used at my parents' house. And I was like, leave this shit alone until I get out of college. And you know, that didn't happen. The next thing I know, I'm like, where's my stuff? And they're like, oh, we chucked it in the storage unit. And so the glass case, because I had the originals and they're like black boxes with the foam inside, but I also had the glass cases that were specifically fitted for each lightsaber, and my parents just threw them in some storage unit and shattered them, and yeah, that happened. So anyway, as a like Star Wars fan as a kid, most kids like, I don't know, I feel like I've seen this a lot in Star Wars fandom. I was definitely this way, but kids just always want, like, once you get into Star Wars as a kid, you just want like a realistic looking lightsaber hilt. You think that'd be like the coolest thing to ever own. As a kid, I wanted to be just like Luke Skywalker's, like, especially from Return of the Jedi. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. Controversial, I guess. But I really love it because of Luke's characterization in that one specifically. Like, as a full-blown badass, and I used to wear all black not to be emo, but just because I wanted to be like Luke Skywalker, and I would like try to find ink pens that kind of look like lightsabers or something, and I would like hang it off my belt. I would do the best I can to be like Luke Skywalker. And so as I got older, like, I really wanted like a lightsaber hilt, and so I started learning like about how they made the props and everything, and I'll get into that as I show you guys. But the first one I want to show you is the first one I got, and the one I wanted the most, and it's Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. Before Master Replicas opened their store online or whatnot, I had recently bought, not for that much, some blueprints from someone, maybe on eBay or something. It was like, I don't know, earlier days of the internet, but I bought these blueprints. I wish I still had those. It's kind of cool to think about now. But there were blueprints for a CNC machine that you could program into a CNC machine, and it, like, you know, sculpts metal into like however you program it, and it was a blueprint for Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, and I was going to try to find a way to get a CNC machinist. I was just trying to come up with whatever scheme. I just wanted a damn lightsaber. But luckily around this time, Master Replicas opened its doors, and they're like one of the first things, it might have been, I think it was like the first thing they offered was Luke's, and I was like, my dream come true. It was a pretty penny, but I didn't give two crap. Like, I just kind of was working maybe, probably more than minimum wage, but not much, you know, more just some job or whatever, saving up, and I got it, and here we go. I'll grab it right here. So here we go. I'm getting smudges all over it. But those Luke's from Return of the Jedi, it's modeled after kind of the Obi-Wans from A New Hope. So Obi-Wan's in A New Hope. I'll use this as an example to tell you how they made it, but and on Obi-Wan's, this part was a sink drain. The original props were made from like stuff found in a junkyard, and so this was actually like the first one that was machined and actually crafted and not just put together from spare parts. But Obi-Wan's original lightsaber, this piece, the emitter, was a sink drain there was like, I think this piece right here, the copper piece on here, was like a lawnmower part of some kind. This part was the like grenade housing or a grip from the outside of a grenade. This part, you'll see, it came off of a Graphics flash handle. They added this stuff. That's cool. And then this is just an edge connector from the computer circuit board. This was probably just some metal piece. I can't remember what it was on Obi-Wan's, or if it was part of the grenade or another piece. And then this was like a knob from a sink. So that's how they built. But this lightsaber means a whole lot to me. Luke Skywalker's character, and especially his characterization in Return of the Jedi, means a lot to me. And so this was a really cool thing to finally get. It was like a dream come true back in whenever this like 2005 maybe. I saw like Star Wars Theory. He just recently did a video where he finally got one of these, and I think that was a dream come true for him. And it just reminded me of my collection, and it made me really want to share it with you guys. So that's the first one. Our second one we have here is Luke's lightsaber from The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's technically the same lightsaber as the one he gets from Obi-Wan in A New Hope, you know, Anakin's lightsaber. But there's a few modifications on this version that makes it different from the A New Hope version, and I'll show you guys. But first, I'm going to tell you how they made both pretty much the A New Hope and this one, and then I'll tell the differences. So this is basically mostly, if you've ever seen in a movie, like an old maybe like 50s movie, if you're watching maybe like a noir film or something, and you see people that have like kind of a bunch of reporters, and they got like a big camera, and they're holding that it's like a handle with a bulb and the big round you know, kind of lighting shield behind the bulb that projects, you know, the light forward, and you know, they press a button and that's like the flash for their big ass old cameras. That's pretty much what this thing is just that handle that holds the bulb, and you press this button. So this is how let me show you. So this is how it would go. This piece is what connects to the camera. So yeah, you'd use this to kind of open it up, and it would be an attachment. Then you click that close. Then you got your camera. You got this. You got your button. These tongs, I guess you would press them like this, and it would open that up so you can slide whatever. And when you would let go, it would kind of keep it in place. These, I guess, were to maybe plug it in. Of some sort. I'm not sure, because I think it used batteries, so I can't remember exactly what that is. This wasn't on the A New Hope. They added a button just like the top one on the bottom too, but originally it was just a little glass eye right there on the A New Hope version. But this whole top part is basically exactly the flash handle, but in the Empire version there's this added button on the front. And then when we get to the clamp, the way this one's different from the one in A New Hope is we got the edge connector here, just like Luke's from Return of the Jedi. But if you see the A New Hope version, you kind of see clear bubbles going down this instead. And that is the reverse side of a calculator matrix screen, or the screen on a calculator matrix. And so they basically flipped it. There was kind of this bubble matrix, and they used that as the outside. It was like the activator. And then they added, basically they cut up windshield wipers and used them to make the grips on here. And then they just kind of, you know, attach that. But the way the grips are different than the A New Hope version is the New Hope version didn't have these rivets. That's new to the Empire version. And then also, the grips. These are kind of squared, you know, and the A New Hope version, they're rounded. But awesome lightsaber, classic, probably more sleek, and it might be more of a favorite to people. They probably might think the Luke Return of the Jedi one is a bit clunky or whatever, but I don't know, there's something about it. I love it. So I'll get to the next one. So next, we have what I call the Cadillac of lightsabers. This is a prequel saber. So this one is like Luke's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, where this one was completely, most of the lightsaber, or all of them for the most part, were machined for the movie, but they still like did similar things like the originals, like finding junk and repurposing it. Like a famous one is their communicators, like in A New Hope that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are using, are like spray painted Gillette razors, like the wide-handled Gillette razors, which is really funny. And once you like know kind of how they made this, like you can't unsee it, but it's cool. It doesn't like take you out. It's just like knowing kind of how they make the props in the movie is cool. But so what we have here is Obi-Wan's. This one's called the Attack of the Clones version, but I don't know if there's any real difference between this one and the episode 1 one, even though it got kicked down a shaft that was like infinitely deep. I don't know how it survived and was able to put back together just right, but this thing is just one of the sleekest, most beautiful. Let me get it close. Lightsabers. I love this lightsaber, it's beautiful. We got that end. The emitter. This one got some heft too, it's like solid. And then you got the clip, and it even has the belt clip that you can slide and wear. Pretty cool. So I was getting these, and I was just getting, because they were so expensive at the time. I don't even know how much. I don't even, well, I kind of want to know. I haven't even looked into it in forever, what they might be worth now and everything. But at the time, just when they came out, they were pretty expensive. They were like, with the case and everything, like if my memory serves, like the lightsaber with the glass case was somewhere around like $380 plus X. So those were like around $400 at the time. But they were coming out with, after I got those, they were coming out with a weathered Obi-Wan A New Hope saber, which I wanted like nearly as badly as the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi. And I had the money. It was something about it. It was a bit more expensive than the others, I want to say. But I didn't care. I saved up for it. I wanted it really bad, but sold out like that. Like I went as soon as it was like released, and I couldn't get it, so I was pretty bummed out about that. And once I found that out, there was like this random night like after that where I was like, I got this money and nothing to do with it. And I was like young, like really young, like early 20s, really early 20s, I think. And I in the middle of the night just withdrew all the money, and I went to like Walmart in the middle of the night and bought an original Xbox, which was fairly new at the time. It might have been out. I don't think it was fairly. It had been out for a little while. But they had at the store the Buffy the Vampire video game for it, the first one, not Chaos Bleeds, and they had Jedi Outcast, and so I got that, and that turned into lots of good memories, so it worked out to a degree. But I eventually at least got some form of Obi-Wan A New Hope sabers. I got 2 of them. So this is the first one. I think I want to say I ordered this off the site maybe, or there was some sort of special promotion, like you could get it if you were like, they considered you a like member of Massacre because you bought a bunch of their products, And so this is like a gold Obi-Wan, like mini lightsaber. That's pretty rad, huh? Sorry about the glare. And get it in there, cool. Like, you guys know the deal. Okay, so let me show you real quick. Sink drain. Yeah, this is better. Okay, now I can show y'all better. Sink drain, grenade grip, graphics clamp, lawnmower part, sink drain. There we go. And this next one is really cool. I want to tell y'all a story about where I got this one. Celebration 3, my very first convention of any kind. Got to go to one of the most epic Star Wars conventions. One of the greatest memories of my life is going to Celebration 3. I was so excited for Revenge of the Sith. We got to see like the trailer premiere, or it was actually a trailer premiere of the duel, or the Battle of the Heroes music video with all the footage of the movie like in it, and it was just mind blowing. It was at a big opening ceremony thing, but me and a friend drove to Celebration 3. I'll show you this in a sec. I want to tell you a Celebration 3 story. So me and my friend went last minute to Celebration 3 because we found out like George Lucas was gonna be there in person, and I was like, oh, this is going down, I have to see George Lucas, and there's like a one-in-a-lifetime chance. And so we drove straight like all night from the East Coast to Indianapolis, and when it came to the night before, George in the morning was gonna be doing his presentation, whatnot, just Q&A talk, whatever. The night before, we just immediately like left the convention, walked out of the convention center around like 9 or 10, and me and my friend immediately just got in line with a couple people to like just in 12 hours or so it was gonna be the thing for Lucas. But we just kind of walk out instead of going home to the hotel. We just like got right in line. It was like 20 degrees and raining or something. It was horrendous conditions, or just exposed out on the sidewalk. My friend that I was with lasted about an hour and bounced, and I was like, there's no way I will suffer. I'm gonna see George Lucas. And so I made friends with the family that was like next to me in line, and I was at the beginning. I was like 10th, and like I was like at the beginning of the line, and I made friends with this family, and they had a big tarp that they were under, so they gave me a corner. We all had corners so that we kind of tucked behind our head like in our chairs, and it kept it like a canopy over all of us because the conditions were just so excruciating. Eventually the city our line got huge. Thousands of people. The line got huge, and because of the weather conditions, they rerouted us through like the sky tunnels and into the parking garages to get us out of the weather. It was still like cold as shit, but at least we were out of the rain. And so we slowly kept being moved forward a little bit by a little bit through the night, and there was eventually a point, I guess we had made it back into the convention center, but I blacked out. I was so exhausted, and it was such horrendous conditions at a certain point. Like I don't remember. It was one of those exhaustion things where I woke up in the morning on the floor of some building, and I was so disoriented because of the exhaustion and not even remember passing out, that I had no idea where I was or how I got there or what was going on. It was like took a minute for everything to like come back into play. I was so confused. I'm like, where am I? What is this? And then the next thing I know, as I'm getting my bearings, I'm being ushered through the door, and it's like, oh, in 10 seconds, like George Lucas is gonna be like 10 feet in front of me, which was really cool. There was maybe like 2 rows or so of like special seating for like friends and family or whatnot, and then after that, it's like all the fans that were in line, and I was in that first row of like fans, and it was like George Lucas, once he came on, he was only like 15 or 20 And like he was just right there, and I was like, holy crap, it was really cool. And if y'all have ever seen a clip online of like, I've seen it before, I was like, holy crap, I was there, like of this kid, because they were doing a Q&A, and the kid just goes up and was like, thank you to George Lucas, and George Lucas brought him on stage and like gave him a hug or like something. It was a really great moment. That was the event that I was at with George, that George was doing. So that's a great memory. Like nothing was gonna stop me from seeing George Lucas in person, the man, the myth, the legend, great guy. So I got this there at the Master Replicas thing, because they had like a list that might have been, I might have gotten the gold one there. I remember before going Master Replicas, if you were a customer, a reoccurring customer, whatnot, they put you on this list, and when you went up, you got some sort of benefit, or you could get certain items. It's been 16 years now, so part of my memory. But this is like a, what is this one called? It just says, you know, but it's like a grayish black version. It's really interesting and cool. I'm gonna show, I broke the seal. It's too awesome. Who cares? So here we go. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but the metal is actually tinted. One day when I have a better camera, I'll show you these better. But it's basically got like a dark grayish blackish metal finish instead of it being like straight silver. It's really cool. Okay, so finally we got an extra special set of awesome for you. Those are kind of regular editions that came out. Each was like a certain number of like 2,500. The one with the smallest number I have is my ObiWan episode 2. It's like number 39 of like 2,500, which is, I was like, oh crap, I was like early, like ordering before anyone else that one. But here I have a Elite Edition Master Replica, and it's just one of, out of, it's not the number one, but it's like 900 and something. But out of 1,250 made, they made these like with even more quality than usual, the Elite Editions. And so when I saw this one, I was actually in college when I got this one. So I was able to protect it, and I actually have the glass case. And that's why this one's kind of out. Like I said, this is the one I keep under my record player over there. It's kind of out. But this is Han Solo's DL-44 blaster, heavy blaster. Check that out. I have to use my finger right there. This thing's heavy as shit. And so I gotta use my finger because it wants to weigh down. It's like holding a jug of milk or something. And when, like, the second I opened this thing, I immediately picked it up, and I was holding it like this, and I ran to a corner and looked around. I was like, didn't we just leave this party? I was a grown-ass man. Like, I immediately turned into like my 10-year-old self. But this is rad. This, I can actually teach you about this too. This pistol was made out of a German pistol called a Mauser. The main part of the gun, like the handle, the base, and the muzzle minus the flash suppressor and the scope, it was just like a Mauser broom handle pistol. And then they just added this flash suppressor and a rifle scope, and that's how you make Han Solo's blaster. Here we go. This is the other side of it. Right there. This thing is so cool. So cool. Just sit around. And then right here, I guess in the movie, I guess there might have been two props. Let me see if yeah. And this piece actually can remove, and there's another piece that replaces it. There's two different kind of sights right here you can have, where I guess there was two different models in the movie with kind of different sights, so you have it interchangeable thing going on there. But alright, cool stuff, guys. I haven't got to bring those out in a long time. It's been a while since, you know, anyone would give a crap about this stuff, me showing it to them. So I'm really glad I got a chance to share this with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something you didn't know about the making of Star Wars and the props in the film. Thanks for checking out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.